the coronavirus situation. The situation is, of course, really disturbing. Nothing like it in my lifetime, in our lifetime. I think, first and foremost, we have to be thankful that the speedy action on behalf of most countries in the world will mean, hopefully, that the impact will be nothing like the terrible pandemics of the past. The Spanish flu pandemic of 1918 to 1920, which cost between 20 million and 50 million lives. The HIV/AIDS pandemic of 2005 to 2012, which took 36 million lives. Hopefully, the sheer reliance on medical expertise will make sure that this one is much less damaging and will tell us that despite everything, we do make progress in civilization. I think the 2008 financial crisis was horrendous, but it was nothing like the 1929 Great Crash and the subsequent depression that caused misery and poverty throughout the 1930s. So little by little, we get better at these things. But in terms of the we-I distinction that I've been making, I think we've seen this playing out very clearly. Number one, there has been hoarding and stockpiling and emptying of shelves at supermarkets. And everyone who does that is putting the I ahead of the we and saying, you know, I will have more than I need despite the fact that I may be taking away from people who have less than they need. And that is a victory of I over we, and it's dangerous. A second victory of I over we, which was very dangerous, was, you remember a few days ago, Italy put 16 million people into quarantine in the north of Italy. But as soon as that news was heard, tens of thousands of people tried to escape to the south of Italy, putting their own personal convenience over the safety of others, and the result was that Italy had to lock down the whole of Italy and not just the north. And that was another bad instance of I triumphing over we. Thirdly, I'm afraid I have to say that the whole relationship of the West to one another has not been good. I think the American ban on travel from Europe was done without any consultation with the leaders of Europe and constituted a failure of moral leadership. When all that matters to a politician is I, then you get that kind of chaos in which everyone suffers. So we have seen too much I and too little we do great damage in the last few days and weeks. What do I hope to emerge from this when we come out of this very, very difficult period? Number one, I hope we'll understand that there is such a thing as a covenant of global responsibility. Here we all are, across the world, in every single country, suffering the same fate and the same danger and the same risks. We are a global we, and this is showing us is nothing else has in our time. We are part of a global we, the we of humanity. Secondly, one tiny little microscopic virus can bring the whole world to its knees. Despite all our technological and scientific advance, I hope that teaches us the we of humility as well. If we have humility, maybe we'll take more care of the environment and be a little less anthropocentric and willing to understand that we are a small part of this planet and we'd better take care of it as a whole. And thirdly, I really want to thank you all for coming out here this evening. I mean, it's very moving. It really is very moving. But when this is all over, I want you to think of all those hundreds of thousands of people around the world who've endured quarantine and self-imposed isolation, sitting on their own, lonely eyes, and understand what a gift it is at normal times to be able to come together, to sit together, to shake one another's hand. Let us realize what a gift it is of being together as a we, not just as isolated eyes. And that will be our redemption of solitude. Thank you very much indeed.